It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome friends and neighbors, I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for joining us. Our top story today, the MHSAA approves NIL for high school athletes. That's right, athletes in greater West Bloomfield will be able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness effective immediately per an MHSAA decision on the afternoon of Tuesday, January 27th. These opportunities are limited, however, to individual deals for individual students with no ties allowed to schools such as West Bloomfield High School or high schools and other schools in the 6 additional districts serving the greater West Bloomfield community. That includes all the public schools and those private schools like Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Even with big sports programs, they cannot directly be involved with these NIL deals with the students, nor may the students involve the branding of their schools directly in those campaigns. So for example, if we went back a few years and the star of the show was Donovan Edwards, he would not have been able to use the Lakers WB or the Anchor or Lyle the Crocodile in any of his NIL deals, cannot be associated with the school directly. Deals aimed at attracting players to a certain school are also prohibited under this ruling, as are collectives such as those we see at many of our four-year colleges and universities. You think about the major third-party collective that was recently started at Michigan State University that is catapulting their athletics departments into the futures, and others that have been created at places like the University of Michigan and other Power 5 schools in the NCAA, particularly for those prestige sports like football and basketball. However, personal appearances, autographs, endorsement, and merch sales are among the newly permitted NIL transactions under these rules, expanding from previous allowance of camps organized by individual athletes, clinics, and other individual, very specialized, small-scale uses of their name, image, and likeness. We will have more on this topic in the days ahead. Stay tuned right here on the Splash Live for how this will affect our athletes here in greater West Bloomfield. We've reached out to West Bloomfield High School for contact, as well as the MHSAA for further insight into this issue. And later on this week, we'll get some insight as well from former assistant coaches with the West Bloomfield High School Lakers football program to get really a full-scale understanding of how this may affect athletes and the dynamic between athletes, coaches, and local schools here in greater West Bloomfield. Close to home, in the heart of the lakes, it's the tastiest week of the year, and the deals on good meals have never been better. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff joins us live in Keego Harbor with more. Jake.
Yes, Tyler, good morning. And if you're smelling all sorts of delicious delights coming from Keego Harbor, that is because Taste of Keego has been underway all throughout this week, with several different Keego eateries being showcased throughout the community. Popular establishments like Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, which I'm standing right outside of right now, Cannell Bakery, Brew Brothers, Buscemi's, Jaybird, you name it, it's there. With restaurant deals, special menus, and a wide variety of options, there is something for everybody on this culinary tour of Keego Harbor. I stopped by some of these restaurants recently to speak with some very satisfied customers and visitors to hear what they think of Taste of Keego and how happy it is to see it throughout the community and how satisfied their stomachs are.
Oh, I think it's a good program. I wish they could do it for all different businesses around. I wish there would be more involvement that way. But for Gino's, it's just a great thing. We come here regularly anyway, and it's like, oh, we're going to go support this too. I just don't know how I'm going to eat all 3 meals at the same week.
I love that, things like this exist to bring community together and, highlight small businesses. I think it's a really great thing. I think cafes and coffee shops and stuff like that are a huge part of the community and bring people together. So I really like that you guys are working on highlighting those things.
I mean, obviously a small town like Keego Harbor, only a couple thousand residents. A lot of people from even Metro Detroit area probably have never even heard of the city of Keego Harbor, yet it's just a short drive away from major cities like West Bloomfield. It's right in the backyard, basically, and it's got its own unique personality, and it's a great town.
It shows that even such a small city really has such an impact in such an incredible way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the cool things about the state of Michigan in general is that, we have a lot of cities and townships in comparison to other states, and a lot of them do have their own unique small town feel with residents who have been there for a long time and chose to stay forever, and small businesses as well that have chose to stay forever as well.
And it's good that it's taking place around a time of year like the end of January, as we're still in the start of the new year, new experiences, even finding new eats.
Oh, it is. I've got to get to Canal Bakery. I've not been there yet, but I sure would like to give that a try. And this will remind me of that and try to do it during this Taste of Keego week.
What do you hope customers take away and visitors take away from being a part of something like Taste of Keego?
Just to support local businesses and come together and, come out and help people out by bringing in business and, telling the community about it. I think that's really noble.
Yeah, I would say just to give out all the food a try. The burgers here are spectacular. They fresh cut their fries as well. You watch them cut the potato in front of you. Very great food for a relatively affordable price as well as all the other great food around town. I'd recommend anyone come and try it all.
Taste of Keego will be continuing throughout this week up until Sunday, February 1st. So still plenty of opportunities to get out and see what the talented chefs and restaurants of Keego Harbor have to offer if you have not done so already. It's a very exciting time, Tyler, and it's making me very, very hungry.
Yeah, we do that a lot on this show. We send you out on these stories that are about some of the tastiest things happening in Greater West Bloomfield. And Jake, what's great too is Taste of Keego kind of came on the backside of some of the coldest weather, hopefully, we'll see all winter long. And a lot of these restaurants also expanded their deals from not just being on individual dishes or individual specials, but also to expanding some of their delivery or pickup options as well. So making this as convenient and affordable as possible for people to enjoy these local restaurants. But what's even more important about it, Jake, is that people are able to support these local restaurants that, like Gino's, give back to the community.
You're absolutely right, Tyler. I mean, all of these restaurants have, and that's what we were talking about in the package, as this is such a small town, and to be able to showcase all of these restaurants and the impact they have on Keego Harbor and Greater West Bloomfield, it's only fair that we give back to these restaurants, make sure that they don't go anywhere. We love this great food. We want it to stick around. And it's so amazing that we're seeing the community come out and support these great eateries.
Well, Jake, we appreciate you for going out there, getting that report, hearing from the people of Keego Harbor as they experience the front side of Taste of Keego as it continues all throughout the rest of the week. Jake, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tyler.
Live in Keego Harbor, Jake Schaff outside of Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, one of 9 restaurants in the heart of the lakes participating in Taste of Keego 2.0 in 2026. We'll hear a lot more about Taste of Keego, a little bit of its history, how it's come together in its current form, and the ways that it does impact these small businesses, these restaurants and eateries, coffee shops, and so on and so forth in Keego Harbor. Amy Drain from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation, one of the people behind this event, will speak to us later on in the show. This weekend, a chance to warm your bellies and enjoy some friendly competition. The 13th annual Temple Shir Shalom Chicken Soup Cook-Off is coming up this Sunday, February 1st from 12:30 to 2 p.m. on Walnut Lake Road, featuring the best restaurants and home cooks from all across town. Joining me now with more information from Temple Shir Shalom is Rabbi Daniel Schwartz. Rabbi Schwartz, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having us, Tyler. Great to be here with you.
Yeah, great to have you on as you get ready for the 13th annual Chicken Soup Cook-Off at Temple Shir Shalom. 13 years back, this became a tradition after an exciting first event. What do you believe captured the audience so well, both within your temple congregation and throughout the community, that turned this into the tradition it is?
I think enjoying a warm bowl of soup on cold winter days is always a wonderful thing, but also that we get to warm the hearts and souls of others, because this is not just an opportunity to taste all the different chicken soups that we have, but it also benefits a number of great organizations, both here at Temple, but we also have partners in Metro Food Rescue and Project Healthy Community this year, and we rotate and work with new organizations every year to expose our community and allow opportunities to volunteer with them as well.
So let's go back in time well over a decade to the very first time this was being planned and being put on through Temple Shir Shalom. What kicked off the necessity for this, the idea to have a chicken soup cook-off to not only, as you said, bring the community together, but also raise funds and raise awareness for organizations that are helping people battle hunger and other issues here in our community and beyond?
So this idea actually started in Cincinnati, Ohio. I worked at a synagogue there at a temple called Wise Temple in Cincinnati that had a chicken soup cook-off they were doing for years. And I was the youth group advisor at the time, and we decided, along with the youth group board, that we would enter a soup that year. And so that kicked it off for us joining together in one of their kitchens and making a chicken matzo ball soup. And from then, the youth group, of course, won that year. And then I came up here to Michigan, and as we were doing things here at Shir Shalom, thought, wouldn't it be great to bring that tradition that they had there up here to Michigan as well? And so that's what we did, and we've been doing it since then, and it's been a wonderful event for us and always a lot of fun.
And you can see it at home on your screen on civiccentertv.com. These pictures and also some of our video from coverage of past chicken soup cook-offs at Temple Shir Shalom. It's a packed house there. People from all throughout the community, not just your Temple community, but throughout Greater West Bloomfield and nearby areas come in for this. Outside of course, a chance to taste some of the best soups from restaurants across Greater West Bloomfield. What else do you believe brings these people back year in and year out?
There's always new soups. And so it's great to try new soups as well as some of our traditional soups that we've had here. So we always have been blessed by generous donors in the community, restaurants, markets, and caterers that have been a part of it. We get a bunch of the delis that are here, Stage Deli, Tony's Deli, Val's, Pickles and Rye, that year after year continue to be a part of it. And then we have new places as well. My Big Fat Shawarma opened recently in West Bloomfield, and they've been a part of it. This is their second year coming and being a part of it. We have restaurants from Farmington Hills, like Lily's on the Green, that's going to be a part of it for the first time. We have some caterers, Riva Constantine Events, Too Unique, Platinum Dish Catering, Cutting Edge Cuisine. So it's a great way for them to get out their soups as well and to be able to show it, and for us to be able to taste some delicious soups. We actually have 3 different categories that they enter. Whether you're an amateur or a professional, and you can enter a matzo ball soup, a chicken noodle soup, or the contemporary creative soup, which is anything with chicken in it that we get to taste.
And so if people want to enter, we're coming up against the deadline for the event. The event, of course, is coming up this weekend. Can people still get in the competition?
So the entry for entering a soup is already closed. We have a lot of materials that get together and ordering things and getting things ready for this year. So we're closed and locked in at 27 soups for this year. But what we do need are tasters. So you can come and taste soup and get a feel for it. If you think you have a delicious soup and you want to see the competition for next year, come out and taste the soup as well and know what you're up against.
Yeah, it's steep competition. Civic Center TV, our team was out there a few years ago. I took a recipe from my stepdad. He makes great chicken soup, and that's what everyone's going to claim. Okay, my family's got a great chicken soup recipe. We got a great recipe for a side dish at Thanksgiving. Everybody has the best of the best, but to bring out the chicken soup that I made off of his recipe, compete with the others. There's so many great soups there, both as a competitor and a tester from a few years. I remembered it being steep competition. So, like Rabbi Schwartz said, if you're not able to this year compete because you're past the deadline, next year is a great one to look forward to. And you can do that Sunday, February 1st, beginning at 12:30 and running until 2 p.m. at Temple Shir Shalom in West Bloomfield. On that note, Rabbi Schwartz, especially for the amateurs that enter this competition, do you have returners that come back every single year and have kind of become ringers for that competition, something for people to strive to beat?
There are a number of people who love entering, whether they win or not. It's always fun to be out there with the community serving your soup, showing off that family recipe that you have or something that you've newly created. Our preschool, they get ready for this. They start cooking this week on Friday, and they will be entering as they always have been a part of that. And then we have some of our other Temple members who are part of it for the first time. And so it's an exciting event to be a part of, and people are thrilled to be able to share their soup with friends and family. Last year, we had our winner, our overall winner. We do a people's choice. So everybody who enters the social hall, the temple, on Sunday has the ability to be able to vote for their favorite soup, and they get a ticket and they'll drop it into a cup. And at the end of the event, we announced the People's Choice Award. And last year it was actually won by not one of the professional division; it was won by an amateur. And Lisa Mendelson took home the trophy for People's Choice with her. She called it a Haitian chicken soup, which is her family is from Haiti, and Haiti, and so she had this Haitian chicken soup that she brought, and it was a play on words because Hay and Shin are also actually two letters of the Hebrew alphabet as well that she incorporated into it.
Creativity both in the kitchen and in the marketing. It all plays into the competition. We see what Lisa did there. Tickets for the Temple Shir Shalom Chicken Soup Cook-Off are $5 for children, $7 individual tickets for adults, or bring the family for $20. For more information, visit shirshalom.com/CSCO. You'll see it on your screen, or visit them on Facebook at Temple Shir Shalom MI. Rabbi Daniel Schwartz is with us on the Splash Live. The 13th annual Chicken Soup Cook-Off at Temple Shir Shalom is this week, Sunday, February 1st, 12:30 p.m. until 2 p.m. Get out there, and Rabbi Schwartz, people, it's pretty affordable. $5 for kids, $7 for adults, $20 for the family, and it's unlimited tasting of the soup in there. So, hey, look, you're going to get a great meal there with some tasty soup from all throughout the community. Makes that a really fun attraction. But you mentioned beyond that, the community aspect of this is such a huge part, because it's one thing to have a closed-door event like this that's fun for your congregation, fun for the people that are members of the temple, that regularly worship at Temple Shir Shalom, but opening up to the wider community. Why is that an important element of this for your temple?
So this event has always been a fundraising opportunity for us as well. And so getting people in the door, letting them know who the members of Temple Shir Shalom are, letting people experience Shir Shalom and see the inside, because oftentimes people don't come in, they drive by it, they see us, but might wonder what's it like inside, who's part of the community. And so it's a great way to get to know others in the community and to welcome everybody in. And then there is, of course, the social action aspect of it, or the donations that we make, a percentage of it going off to other organizations that help our greater community in so many different ways.
And so this competition's coming up on Sunday, February 1st. Some of your favorite restaurants from throughout Greater West Bloomfield will bring their soups and other dishes along with them. And then amateurs, people that may be your neighbors, may live in the same neighborhood, maybe down the street somewhere else from you, or right around the corner from Temple Shir Shalom, will also be presenting their soups at this competition, and a really fun event in Greater West Bloomfield. Sunday, February 1st. More information is on your screen, or visit them on shirshalom.org/CSCO, or Chicken Soup Cook-Off. Easy to remember. Rabbi Schwartz, before we let you go, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here. I know you're not allowed to play favorites. You're the rabbi. You're supposed to be the one bringing everyone together and be as neutral as you can be. But you've been around for this competition since the very beginning, this cook-off since the very first one at Temple Shir Shalom. You know who's coming back this year. Any leaders in the clubhouse as we get ready for Sunday?
Well, I will share. I am intentionally not a judge at this event so that I can be impartial. However, I'm not so impartial because my family every year enters a soup as well. And so we've entered the last 12 times a chicken matzo ball soup, which every once in a while has taken home a trophy in the amateur division. But this year we're trying something different and making a carrot chicken soup. And so I think it might be a winner.
Yeah, forecast is looking to be a little bit on the warmer side for what we've had lately in Greater West Bloomfield. Temperatures right around the late teens and early 20s on the high side, and single digits on the low side. But look, we've been cold enough for a couple months just in the last week. That alone should be enough to get you wanting to go out there and get some hot soup from vendors and individuals across Greater West Bloomfield. Rabbi Daniel Schwartz is with us from Temple Shir Shalom. Before we let you go, anything else that we should know about the cook-off coming up this weekend or other exciting things happening at Temple Shir Shalom in the near future?
It's a great event. Our two co-chairs, Ashley Hawkins and Sharon Minkin, have done a wonderful job of putting together, carrying on that tradition started many years ago. And we just hope that you'll come out and join us, even if it's a little cold outside. This is a great way to warm up and do something fun on a Sunday afternoon and enjoy some delicious soup.
Great way to introduce yourself to the community and enjoy some soup from restaurants that you love going to each and every day and every weekend, or just enjoying some good old-fashioned community company here in Greater West Bloomfield. Rabbi Schwartz, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Tickets for the Temple Shir Shalom Chicken Soup Cook-Off are $5 for children, $7 for adults, or bring the entire family for just $20. More information on shirshalom.org/CSCO. Pretty easy, Chicken Soup Cook-Off, just abbreviate it. shirshalom.org/CSCO, or visit Facebook at Temple Shir Shalom MI. During the cold Michigan winters, frigid temperatures and periodic precipitation can lead to slick surfaces all over town. And for cities, such as the city of Orchard Lake Village, that can provide a unique challenge as their Department of Public Works battles the elements to keep city roads safe and clear for you and I. Here with more insight into how they do that is Jerry McCallum from the city of Orchard Lake Village. Jerry, thank you for being with us on the show today.
Of course, Tyler. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this, because this is one of the biggest undertakings of the city's Department of Public Works. It's very unique because when we think about the roads being bad in our communities in Greater West Bloomfield, usually that's getting directed to the Road Commission for Oakland County, but a big undertaking that's arguably a lot tougher given the resources of our cities are those individual smaller streets. So first off, if you could clarify, how does your work in the city of Orchard Lake Village clearing roads differ from the responsibilities that are undertaken by the Road Commission?
So we expect a high level of service here in our community, and so do our residents expect that. So one of the things that they've been having an advantage of over the years is our DPW staff keeping up good operations, especially for winter operations relative to cleanness of the road, safety of the road, et cetera. Our DPW staff, as you are aware, with these snow events we've been having this year, it's been a trying year, but we do pride ourselves on getting down to clean pavement, wet pavement after every snow event. And it's been extremely challenging based upon the cold weather and the temperatures we've been dealing with as well.
And obviously City Hall, that complex with the Historical Society, with City Hall, with DPW, with the police department, that's a key part of what needs to be cleared so city business can be done, so people can come to City Hall if they have a police matter, if they have a local tax matter or something else to address with the city. But those smaller roads are really the key point, because Orchard Lake Road, we know that's going to be taken care of. It's a major thoroughfare. It's one of the priority roads for the Road Commission. Long Lake Road, kind of on that precipice of the border between West Bloomfield and Orchard Lake. We know that's going to be taken care of. But those smaller streets, how big of a role does it play in the safety of our roadways for the city to be able to clear those efficiently during and after a storm like we've had recently?
Well, again, you know, the city DPW staff do pride themselves on keeping the roads maintained properly from a safety standpoint. Obviously, we want our residents to be, to be safe while they're traversing across the road. But we also have to take into consideration emergency responses as well. You know, if you're sending a fire apparatus or emergency vehicle down there, we want to make sure that they are able to access the road properly and get to the situation as needed. So we put that at a high level as well. The city does maintain about 18 miles of roads. That includes all of our subdivisions. The only major road that we maintain is Old Orchard Trail, which is entirely within our jurisdiction. And they take high priority on that because obviously that is a very high traveled road along with Indian Trail. But more importantly too, is there's a lot of curves on Old Orchard Trail as well that we have to be conscious of from a safety standpoint.
especially during these times of the year where we have fluctuating weather. Sometimes it's more like a typical Michigan winter, 20s and 30s, snow occasionally, wind chill is going to be a big factor. But what we've had recently is bitter cold temperatures. Sometimes it's normal, sometimes it's very abnormal on the colder side. What challenges do those variations play for your DPW crew in addressing some of these road issues?
Yeah, so obviously with these extreme temperatures, salt is ineffective after a certain degree temperature-wise. It will not melt the snow or get us down to our wet pavement or our pavement surfaces. Our DPW staff have been using for numerous years, and especially this year, a lot of brine operations where we actually will go out and blade the roads, scrape the roads, and then come back afterwards and throw a mixture of brine and beet juice down. A lot of communities are getting away from the beet juice situation because they're using chemicals now, but we feel that it's advantageous for our community with all the lakes and everything to do a mixture of beet juice and brine. So that operation will actually get our pavement wet. It's not a long duration that it maintains that, but as long as we don't get another snow event, then typically the roads will become dry and very safe and very passable.
Jerry McCallum is with us from the city of Orchard Lake Village as we analyze how our local roads in the Tri-Cities get cleared beyond those major thoroughfares that the Road Commission for Oakland County takes care of. Again, can't emphasize enough the different roles that are played between the more regional outlets and those directly here in Greater West Bloomfield. You think of Orchard Lake Road, Long Lake, Walnut Lake Road, you think of Middle Belt Road, those major thoroughfares that traverse our community, that's under the jurisdiction of the Road Commission for Oakland County. They have their own priorities. Join us on CivicCenterTV.com. Search Craig Bryson, search Road Commission for Oakland County. You'll get plenty of insight on that. These city roads, the smaller streets, those are the responsibilities of these individual cities. Now, West Bloomfield Township is the difference there in our four communities individually, as they're also under the jurisdiction of the Road Commission for Oakland County. Cities have these responsibilities. And Jerry, you've mentioned your crew. They take pride in their work. They have expert experience in how to manage some of these common issues that arise, but I don't think most people living in the city of Orchard Lake Village, in the Tri-Cities, in Lower Michigan, understand in these cities of your size just how much of an undertaking and the dedication it takes for these DPW workers to take care of these issues for the city. So as these storms are arising, as these storms pop up, especially the big ones, just how much of an undertaking is this for your staff? What do they go through on the day of or the day after these major weather events?
Sure. So Tyler, we do a lot of pre-wetting prior to a storm event. Next time we will go out and brine the streets so that we don't get the adhesion of the snow material to the surface. We basically can go around and blade and then come back and salt after the snow event, blade and salt the final run. But our DPW foreman does a great job. This brine solution is kind of new to the industry, 15, 20 years ago, but during these cold temperatures like this, it becomes very effective, and we use it to the best of our ability. Our staff, obviously, it's been a very trying year, especially with nuisance snows. I'm talking where we get an inch and a half of snow. It's basically just a nuisance, but we do have to obviously get the road in a safe condition. The problem with these nuisance snow, if you don't treat the roads properly, then people will drive over it, turns to ice, becomes an unsafe condition. But again, our DPW does pride themselves on maintaining a good road system in here. The Road Commission has their hands full as well. Any jurisdictions have their hands full this year. Again, with the numerous snow events and these temperatures and these nuisance snows, we do get a lot of accolades from our residents about how our roads are. We do have a lot of walkers in our community that expect those roads to be to dry pavement or to wet pavement so that they walk safely. So again, I give all the credit to the DPW. They do a great job, and again, it's been a very trying year with all of these snow events and with the time they put in.
More updates from the city of Orchard Lake Village are available on their website. Visit cityoforchardlake.com for that information. Joining us on the program is Jerry McCallum, the Director of City Services for the city of Orchard Lake Village. We get worried as individuals in our local cities after these snowstorms about the next morning. How am I going to get to work? I got to get out early. Are the roads going to be cleared? When these events happen, just how early are the dedicated people of your DPW team out on the roads making sure they're safe?
So obviously with all of the mechanisms we have now with the weather apps and stuff like that, our DPW foreman does watch that when they know a storm event's coming in. We also have police department that's 24 hours, 7 days a week. They monitor the road conditions and will call the individuals in when needed. Again, I referenced the Old Orchard Trail, which is a major road in our community that, again, we try to maintain the safest possible because of the curves and the nature of the road. But I mean, they can get called in any time hours of the night. It could be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're out doing what they need to do to make the road safe. So,
in years past, it had been difficult to get out ahead of these things because of what you needed in terms of facilities to establish that. And we know in recent years, one of the big updates in the city of Orchard Lake Village was the bond that was passed by the voting public to enhance the facilities at the Orchard Lake City Complex. How have those changes, how has that renovation aided your DPW team in addressing some of these issues that we see, particularly in the winter when conditions are arguably at their toughest?
Yeah, so prior to construction of the new Department of Public Works building along with the Police Department addition, we were not able to house all of our equipment into one building in a heated facility. So obviously that has an impact upon the vehicle, how it operates during a snow event or during these cold winter temperatures. So that is a huge benefit for the DPWs to put all of the equipment in a heated facility and have it ready to go at any certain time or fashion when needed. We are very, very fortunate that we do have the new Department of Public Works building, and the voters of this city passed that passed that bond for that. But also, you look at a maintenance standpoint. If they have a truck go down or they have to change the underbody blades on our big plow truck, then it's more easier to do and more accommodating to do in a bigger facility with all of the necessary equipment to do that.
What role do residents play in winter safety? We know that so much of it is taken care of within the confines of the city of Orchard Lake Village and their city hall staff, but what role can residents play in being helpful to your Department of Public Works, police, and other EMS as these conditions change throughout this Michigan winter?
Well, first of all, we always ask our residents to be patient. You know, we're not going to get at every road at every minute, but we do ask that you call or email if, for example, if there's an intersection that maybe we haven't hit yet that is icy or it needs to be salted, or if we happen to miss a dead-end street or something, please call. We'll send a crew out immediately. Our primary plow truck is the only plow truck that we have really relative to the primary snow events. But keep in mind, if that goes down for any kind of maintenance or any kind of work that needs to be done on it, then we are short-staffed. We do have other vehicles that will go out and do it, but not as efficiently as the large dump truck. Mm-hmm.
Jerry McCallum is with us from the city of Orchard Lake Village as we talk about the kind of inside baseball of how the city of Orchard Lake is able to clear its roads individually, those smaller city streets during winter storm events, and especially given the conditions we've had during this winter. And Jerry, it's not simply just the Department of Public Works has its operations down pat. They know what they have available to them, and then just go ahead and do what they got to do in these Michigan winters. When you think about a smaller city like Orchard Lake Village, you think that there are methods you use and you use them and they're year in and year out, but your team is constantly innovating to address these changing conditions when they're harsh, when they're normal, to better execute your goals for clearing these roads during the winter. What have been some of the key technological changes in recent years, those innovations that have helped the city become better at doing this critical work they do all winter?
Well, I mentioned earlier, Tyler, about all the apps out there now with the weather apps and everything. So that gives us a good advantage to know when the storm event's coming, prep for it, be ahead of the event as much as we can. The DPW foreman does attend training seminars, webinars for winter maintenance operations along with other communities. And we actually get a lot of information from our other communities as well, relative to how much brine we should be putting down, how much mixture of beet juice, calibration of the equipment itself for the throwing of the salt or discharging of the salt. But we haven't advanced enough like some other communities. They'll have actually sensors in the road and or sensors out there that they can monitor as well. We're not to that point yet, but it may be coming.
Jerry McCallum, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today as we discuss a key issue that's going to be on the minds of everyone in the Tri-Cities, especially in the city of Orchard Lake Village, as Michigan winter continues to be as unpredictable as ever in 2026. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tyler. Have a good day.
You as well. For more updates from the city of Orchard Lake Village, visit cityofOrchardLake.com. That's cityofOrchardLake.com. A new era at West Bloomfield Parks means some changes to one of its most important services, especially in the conditions we have out on the roads today. Senior bus routes in West Bloomfield Township have often used the Recreation Activities Center as a hub, but now with the building closed in anticipation of construction of the brand new Connect Community Center, changes are already underway to this mission critical service. Here to tell us the key details is Ben Burr, Transportation Coordinator at West Bloomfield Parks. Ben, thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Happy to have you on. This is a service that I know is near and dear to many of our residents here in our community, especially those seniors. This is particularly that demographic that this is aimed at. For those that aren't familiar with these senior transportation services that Parks provides, please give us just a basic overview of how residents can tap into this service from our local Parks Department.
Absolutely. So we're here Monday through Friday. Our earliest pickup can be 8:30. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, we have 2 buses on the road. The last rider has to be off by 4. Wednesday and Friday, we have a third. It's still at 8:30 in the morning for the earliest pickup, but that driver is a later shift, and the last rider has to be off by 5. We're available to residents of the West Bloomfield Township, age 55 and up, or disabled, 16 and up. There's just a little paperwork involved. Costs us $3 each way.
And more information on this service is always available on wbparks.org, and you can get updates from the Parks Department all throughout the year on WB Parks on Facebook and at WB_Parks on Instagram as well. Ben, how has the recent weather patterns this winter, the fluctuations between cold and extremely cold, between snowy and completely clear, impacted the necessity for this service and perhaps even impacted the amount of traffic that you're getting from people wanting to tap into these bus rides?
In the winter, we do get calls from people that do drive because their comfort level is not the same as it used to be with the colder weather, with the snow. It's completely understandable. When we have days that are just really nasty and things could take a little longer, some delays may happen, there's a certain level of attrition where people would cancel because their doctor's office canceled or they canceled. So natural pockets are created that allows us to make up for that extra time that may happen. It's very rare that we shut down due to weather. We may have a late start and have to reschedule a few things, but our goal is to take care of as many people as we can, and that's what we're going to do.
So are these specific routes that people are then traveling to one location versus the other and getting these rides, or are they more on an individual basis, rider to rider?
Within the township, SMART has fixed route service, and there are certain bus stops along Orchard, Maple, and Middle Belt, if I remember correctly. What we do with community transit is more individualized service. It's door-to-door service. So a schedule is a puzzle, and as the calls come in, I try and make the puzzles fit as best I can with the puzzle pieces to help as many as we can, but it is door-to-door service. So we pull up to the end of your driveway. If your driveway can accommodate the vehicle, we'll pull in your driveway. For seniors that are concerned about the conditions of their driveway or getting to or from the bus, we are absolutely happy to get out and offer an arm, offer support. Every vehicle has a lift, so whether it's wheelchair, walker, or just not friends with stairs anymore, we have options for those individuals as well.
And there's always challenges from person to person, especially in the more elder population in Greater West Bloomfield. There may be some ailments that make being mobile that much tougher for them. I'd imagine that in the winter season in particular, and especially with the winter we've had, the weather we've had recently, that makes that mobility that much more of a challenge. So how does flexibility play in for your team in A, being able to modify these routes when weather plays a role, but B, more importantly, make sure that when weather is a factor, you continue to be able to make those small or even major adjustments to emphasize safety for these riders?
Well, the easier part of the job is to drive the truck, learn the township. The part that takes a little bit more time is to get to know our riders. Yeah. We have relationships with the individuals that use us quite frequently, so we are able to keep in mind, this person, this is their limitation, or this person has this physical limitation. And we do whatever we can to modify within reason to support the individual. Like I said, for some people, we know they can't get to the end of their driveway, so we'll put the truck in their driveway as long as it's safe. For some people, we will get out of the vehicle if we know they need it or they've informed us they need it to help them carry their items or to help them support themselves to the vehicle. As far as routes and things, there's only a couple spots in the township we got to worry about that the hills get slick, and we just do what we need to do.
In the senior population, it's a wide range of different ages. It could be a sprite young 65 years old, or it could be, you're in your 90s and you're still active out in the community. You have places you need to go. And for all different ages within that cohort, some of them may still be driving. Some may have given up the keys for safety purposes or logistical purposes or other, whatever the case may be. For those that are interested in this service, what do they have to do in order to be able to utilize what West Bloomfield Parks has in place for these residents and get rides from A to Z within their own schedule?
Oh, absolutely. So basically, we're available for anybody in the township that's a resident, age 55 and up. Now, we do assist those as young as age 16 but with disabilities. There's just a form I give you for your doctor to fill out and get it back to me. For those medical needs, we can schedule up to 4 weeks in advance anywhere in the township, or we leave the township by up to 6 miles. For non-medical needs, we'll leave the township by up to 1 mile, and we schedule those up to 2 weeks in advance so those medical needs have a head start. And otherwise, we work with Parks and Recreation, and those trips that are on page 31 of your guide, those are us as well.
And as the community continues to expand, and as, of course, we know it's a bedroom community, it's a family community, as adults become empty nesters and then become seniors themselves, how has this program then expanded to better match the necessity within that senior population for these rides as time goes on?
We are limited by the budget the program provides, and that's every community service. So there is a certain working with seniors. As people move, they change locations, they leave the township. So riders do come, riders do go. New riders join us every day, whether it is a financial hardship, a medical issue, aging, or as you discussed earlier, a comfort level. We'll just take care of anybody we can within limitations. We did expand last year. We added that third truck on Wednesday and Friday to offer more to our residents, which was very well received. And in December, we took possession of another wheelchair-capable vehicle, so that way we have more flexibility in how much we can offer. So on those 3 truck days, I can actually have 3 wheelchair truck service or vehicles in service if need be.
Ben Burr is with us from West Bloomfield Parks as we talk about senior transportation ever more handy during a winter like we've had here in Greater West Bloomfield. For more information on that program, visit wbparks.org, the community transit program available to seniors in our community and those beginning at 16 years old with disabilities after filling out a medical form. Again, that's wbparks.org, and updates on this and other programs are always available on their Facebook page at WB Parks and Instagram at WB _parks. Ben, before we let you go, as seniors may be considering tapping into this service or maybe continuing to use this service, what helpful information should they know from your side of this operation, from your team's side of this operation, to make things go as smoothly as possible for everyone involved?
Yeah, for getting a hold of us, it's 248-706-2411, and that's a 24-hour voicemail. I do listen to them, and then I return calls in the order received. So if I don't answer, I probably have somebody ahead of you in line. I get back to people as fast as I can. A little patience is always a wonderful thing. And if there's something that's not understood or something that you don't quite get, please ask. I'll answer whatever questions I can and help anybody out I can. I would much rather somebody call and ask a question than think that we can't help them and never reach out.
Again, that phone number, 248-706-2411, 248-706-2411. Ben, before we let you go, anything else that you'd like our residents to know here in West Bloomfield about this service from WB Parks?
Not too much. We've covered it. Any updates that come to the service you can find at wbparks.org. Under the About tab, look for Community Transit. My team is always available for questions if you see them out and about. The only other thing is, during the construction of our Connect facility, the trips that were mentioned on page 31, we're no longer picking up at the Recreation Activity Center because of that construction. So in case residents don't realize that, we're meeting at Drake Sports Park. And just keep an eye on your receipts and keep an eye on your email for updates.
Couple miles away, not too far off from the original location. And hey, look, a trip to Drake Sports Park, never a bad idea for anyone here in Greater West Bloomfield. Ben, thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Thank you for having me. You have a wonderful day.
You as well. You can contact Ben and his entire team. We'll put the phone number back up there once again, 248-706-2411. That's 248-706-2411. If you are a senior citizen here in West Bloomfield Township, you can call that number if you are in need of a ride and to get more information from Ben and his entire team. As January comes to a close, so do many of the New Year's resolutions that were made earlier on here in Greater West Bloomfield. As quitting day approaches or passes, with that healthy eating, a common resolution, goes out the window. But one local staple is here to help. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff has the story.
It's the start of a brand new year, which means everybody is looking to maintain their New Year's resolutions. The biggest one, of course, you tend to hear the most often, pertains to healthy lifestyles, which is why resources like the Oakland County Farmers Market are so important to residents of Greater West Bloomfield. With fresh, locally sourced produce from all throughout Michigan being available right here all year round, as well as a plethora of other methods to help instill healthy living, there are many ways to help keep your healthy resolutions on the right track.
Oh, I love it. I come probably twice a week during the summertime. It just feels better than going in the grocery store. And I'm helping the local community as well.
Well, I like buying Michigan-made products versus going to the grocery stores as much to support Michigan farmers and stuff. And I just like it here. It's a good place to be.
I think it's the best thing ever because you can go right to the farmer. You can ask questions of the farmer of your produce, how they do things, how it's packaged, and when it's brought here, you know you're getting good quality product right from the farm to you, to your table.
We have 70 acres of muck fields up in Emily City, and we've been doing this for quite a while. We try to bring the best produce we can for the market so that people have something fresh to eat. I think it's really good to get back to eating whole foods instead of eating processed foods. It's a lot better for you, and it's a lot better for your body.
What are some of the biggest things that you would say is important for everybody to remember regarding healthy eating and healthy living?
Know where your food comes from. And the fresher you get it from the ground to your table, the more nutrients you get out of it.
How would you say the Oakland County Farmers Market helps to reinforce and help to maintain that motivation to keep those resolutions going?
Absolutely. So we offer that fresh produce, but we also offer different events, different activities, and of course you can talk to the vendors as well too, how to keep things kind of healthy. A number of them not only grow this, but they eat this as well. So they have great recipes and great options to recommend.
I hope they remember to come back all year round because it's just the best place to get your fruits and vegetables or your flowers or your mushrooms or fresh baked goods. And you can talk to the people who've made it, who've done the work. And I just hope they come back year round.
And what advice would you like to offer people who might already be starting this new year, maybe struggling with their resolution of maintaining a healthy diet?
Don't totally cut out everything at first. Do it gradually. That way you can kind of get used to the change. So don't just go cold turkey, as they say. Do it gradually, and that way you get used to changing how you have your eating habits.
Surrounding yourself with a healthy community is another great way to keep your resolutions on track. So the next time you're looking for a snack, put down the chips and pick up the carrots, as you're not only helping your body when you stop by local farmers markets, but you're helping the Michigan-based vendors who help provide this food as they continue to help make the world a healthier place. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
You can follow the Oakland County Farmers Market on Facebook. Pretty easy, at Oakland County Farmers Market. Easy to remember, facebook.com/Oakland County Farmers Market. Appreciate the story, Jake. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, some places you can make some of those healthy choices in Keego Harbor while getting some great deals in the process. Amy Drain from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation joins us next. Stay with us live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, welcome back to the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. I'm your host, Tyler Keefe. Thank you for joining us live on the program today on cable television, online on civiccentertv.com, and of course all across our social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, X, and Instagram. Find us at Civic Center TV. Get out of the cold and into the warm embrace of the tastiest places in town. Taste of Keego 2.0 is back, and the best deals are close to home in the heart of the lakes. I spoke to Amy Drain from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation to get the inside scoop on all of the scrumptious specials. Amy, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you on. It's Restaurant Week in Keego Harbor. All begins on January 27th, runs through early February, highlighting our local eateries in Keego Harbor. Tell us about these specials coming up in the week ahead.
Yeah, so we're super excited. This year we have 9 restaurants participating. We invite all of the local restaurants, and we're excited to have 9 this year. We have different specials from a included coffee at one place, all the way over to a special menu for the week. So we're really excited to get the community involved and also partner up with our local restaurants.
Yeah, and there's restaurants of all different kinds, all different tastes for people throughout Keego Harbor. And that's what's really cool about this, because Taste of Keego 2.0, the 1.0 version was just a one-off event. It was in, at that time, Santia Hall. Everyone would gather around. There'd be just a couple specialized meals, dishes from each and every one of these restaurants. But now people have a whole week to explore. And how does that add a different element to this event that takes into account really the goal of Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation, which is to get people to come together throughout Keego?
Absolutely, absolutely. So many other cities, you know, from New York City to even local towns like Northville, they have restaurant weeks. And so this is our spin on a restaurant week for Keego Harbor. And it allows us to highlight all of the restaurants all week long. And so to partner up with them, offer a special or a special menu, get the community involved, especially in January when it's a little cold out, especially this upcoming week. So to warm up everybody, bring them together, get to know Keego Harbor. And throughout Parks and Rec, right, throughout the year, we like to highlight our different events through our parks or through our businesses. And so this is another opportunity for us to do that and kick off the new year doing that.
Facebook.com/KHParks is the place to go. You can also visit KeegoHarbor.org for more information on Taste of Keego 2.0 and upcoming events all throughout the winter and around the year in Keego Harbor. Amy Drain is with us from Parks and Recreation as we get ready for Keego Harbor Restaurant Week. 9 restaurants participating. They all have their own special different wrinkle they're bringing to this year's event in 2026. So among those specials, what are some of the different kinds that are standing out as people get ready for this coming week?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Canal, you were able to buy one of their special pastries, one of their croissants, and you're able to get a free drip coffee with that. The Lodge also will have a buy one entree, get a half off app. So there's a variety of different things. Geno's is always awesome, and they create a whole menu for the week. So we're excited to have Jaybirds this year too with a discount for their food. So a variety of different restaurants, a lot of our pizza places as well. So we have Lorenzo's, Jet's Pizza. So definitely worth taking a look and seeing what's out there. Brewhouse and Brew Brothers are both our burger joints in town. They're going to be participating in a Buscemi's with their pizza. So a variety of different options. We're super excited to have everybody, and they all offer their different flair for bringing their business in as well.
Bar food, Italian food, coffee and pastries, so many different varieties. You can have all your meals for one day lined up and going restaurant to restaurant across Keego Harbor. Perfect time to do that is any time of the year, but especially with these deals. Taste of Keego 2.0, January 27th through February 2nd. More information on KH Parks on Facebook. Amy, as we make the final preparations for this event going forward, 9 restaurants are participating. And what's unique about this is it's not just a bunch of chains that are participating. No. That have local franchisees that want to bring people in, stuff that people can get anywhere. These are local restaurants, people that live in Keego, people that live near Keego, and they care about the community. Why does that make it even more important that people go out this week, Taste of Keego 2.0, and enjoy their local eateries?
Yeah. Well, I'm a big supporter of local businesses, and I do believe that is a trend in today's world as well, as supporting your local community versus a chain restaurant. So it allows you to support directly your community, right? Whether they staff or they live in your community, you're able to really give back to your community right away by spending your money in that area. And so that's an area for us to keep on highlighting throughout the year, but definitely this week for Restaurant Week.
And how does this fit the overall goal of Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation? Because it's changed over the years from being, let's put on a few fun events, let's keep people engaged, let's make events mostly for families, to now being, let's bring the community together. How does this fit that image?
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest things that we do try to bring at Parks and Rec is highlighting the various opportunities, whether that is through our park, it's through our businesses, it's even our residents, right? So we try to make sure that we're highlighting all of the different aspects of Keego Harbor, not just a specific block party or a park, but throughout the year, all of the different events that we have in this wonderful community. We have so much that we offer, and that just adds to it with partnering up with our businesses. You'll notice a couple events throughout the year where we've really highlighted that our Keego Harbor, our different Winter Wonderlands events, so different things like that. We really try to make sure that we're tying in the businesses, the community, the residents, and also inviting outside our community, right? We want to make sure we're bringing people here to Keego Harbor as well.
And this is a great way to do that, bring people into the heart of the lake, see just how special that community is. What better way to attract people to Keego with all of that tasty food offered all across that beautiful city. Amy, anything else you'd like to say about Taste of Keego? Or, if people want to get involved with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec going forward, why should they consider joining?
Absolutely. So I think a couple things that we've really tried to focus on the last couple years is we're actually enhancing our communication. So one thing that we are kicking off this year is a newsletter. So whether you're not on social media or you want to stay informed other ways, sign up for our newsletter. That will give you access to our events throughout the year. and make you aware if you're not on social media. We also have just recently launched our YouTube channel. And so we're noticing trends where not everyone is on Facebook or Instagram, et cetera. And so we're trying to make sure we're creating that outreach outside of just those major platforms. So that's one of our big things. And then, yeah, just making sure you're able to get involved. I recently have joined the board the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been a really great opportunity for me to give back to my community and put up my heart and soul in where I live.
And it's always a whole lot of fun. I've been out to Keego Harbor. I went to the first one, didn't have a chance to go to the second one, but I can imagine that was a whole lot of fun. The bike tour was something new that came into play recently. Of course, the block parties are fun all throughout the summer, but it all begins early on with Taste of Keego 2.0. Amy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
9 restaurants all week long. The deals are in Keego Harbor. Find more information on Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation Fund on their website, keegoharbor.org, or follow them on Facebook at KH Parks. That's our show. I want to remind you that television that's close to home is always online on civiccentertv.com and all across our social media. Big thank you to you and our entire crew for joining us today, and for our entire team. I'm Tyler Kieft, live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV.